Welcome back to SACarNews. Guys, I know it's been a long time coming. I know I've been MIA for a while. I'm really sorry about that. But you know, life happens. Human malware happens. So yeah, these things happen. Anyway, guys, I have not forgotten about the channel, and that's why we are back with another video. But we have to start with a rant. BMW. You know what? You are guilty of a few things. For one, starting off this whole SUV coupe thing. An SUV is not a coupe. Coupe, 2 doors. SUV, 4 doors, chunky boy. I don't care what kind of sloping roofline you put on it. And thanks to you, Mercedes and Audi and Lexus have decided to follow in your footsteps. Thanks a lot, BMW. But we've let that one slide. People bought them. Disappointingly, they bought them. Second thing, I can't remember the notes. That's not the hands over, by the way. Second thing, we've accepted you and the sacrilege of putting 4-wheel drive on the M5 and the M8. We've accepted, even though you've thrown in a nice 2-wheel drive chuffed mode or whatever you want to call it, we've accepted it. We aren't happy about it, but we've accepted it. And finally, we've even accepted the huge nostrils, kidney grills found on the BMW 7 Series and the X7. To be honest, I do understand this one. You know, you are paying so much money for a BMW, might as well have the most distinguished grill, you could almost say. However, that is not even close to the cherry on the top. Behold, as you can see, the new 4 Series. Looks good, eh? Looks good. Look at this rear 3/4 view. Looks fantastic. Absolutely amazing until you see its front. You've ever heard that saying? Like, you know, she's good looking from a distance kind of thing. You know, have you heard that saying? That it sort of applies here because behold, BMW 4 Series new grille. Those two oblong looking, what do I even call this? I don't understand. Okay, BMW, why have you done this? We understand that we mocked you last time for making a 4 Series and being in the beginning, and you know, trying to differentiate it by calling it a coupe only and then making a 4-door version of a coupe when it was originally a 4-door version to begin with, because it came from the 3 Series. So what is happening? We mocked you, so now you're taking it to an extreme level of putting hideous grills on it. Now, we all saw this coming. You did reveal the concept 4 to us a couple of months ago. But once again, why? Honestly, guys, what do you guys think of this new 4 Series car? I can't even talk about the rest of the car. I don't even care. Just imagine how they're gonna ruin the M4. It just looks, no, BMW, no. And you know what, I've got another thing that I didn't actually write down, but I remember now. You ruined the 1 Series for me. What the heck? Actually, you ruined the 1 Series grille and you ruined the 1 Series drive. I mean, it's front wheel drive. It's based on a Mini. How can you do that? And then not to mention the new 2 Series, the 2 Series Grand Coupe. I can't even remember if it's a coupe or not coupe. You ruined that for me too. Okay, rant over. Whew. I felt like I needed that vent. Moving along, Mazda. Guys, I am so happy for Mazda at this point in time. Mazda, ever since they've broken up with Ford or whatever happened, there's some corporate hostile takeover from the Mazda internal stronghold. Good job, Mazda. Probably was one of the best things that ever happened to the company apart from the RX-7. We all love that car. And maybe the RX-8. Mazda is in a wonderful place, guys, and it's showing. Their cars have never been more unique. They have never been more distinguished or different, and never been more expensive. I'll admit, as much as I love Mazda, I'm supposed to be non-biased. As much as I admire Mazda, I can really say that the cars have increased in price, and they're more premium than we actually ever thought they would be. Because, well, before they were just controlled and suffocated by Ford and their tyranny, because pretty much every single Mazda at one point was based off some sort of Ford or had some sort of platform sharing deal, which sort of ruined Mazda's image overall because they weren't really different. They were just like Ford plus 2 or Fords plus 1. But you can't touch Mazda interiors. They are honestly, in terms of design, quality, debatable, but design, can't touch them. And once again, it's a subjective thing, but you could even say, even if you're coming from a German car, you'd be like, wow, you'd be hard pressed to say that this is a Japanese car the way the interior is designed. Long story short, Mazda has blossomed and created this, the Mazda MX-30. This is their first all-electric vehicle. Plug-in, obviously, you know, how are you going to charge it? What, via osmosis? Of course not. Don't be silly. Gosh. And we're not going to charge you here in South Africa at all. Gosh, we're in South Africa. Need I say more? So once again, I'm not too sure about the specs or anything like that on this car, but all I'm saying is that the first time I saw this car, I was actually a bit shocked because one, from the front, it almost looks like a normal SUV, it looked like a replacement for the CX-30 or CX-3, whichever you are familiar with. And I was a bit baffled by it, especially considering the fact that I saw those doors and I was like, they bringing back the RX-8 doors, which is actually fantastic. I'm like, wow, an SUV doing something different. Whoopee. But then I found out it was electric and I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense now why they're being a bit more creative than normal. Because the front looks absolutely amazing, but the back, they decided to visit that sloping roofline thing, which is fine, I guess. You're being creative on your electric car, your first electric car, but that's fine. I guess you have the design rights, Mazda, no one has to say. But honestly, it looks absolutely amazing. I am really, really impressed. And from the way it impressed me so well is that at first I didn't even think it was an electric car. So I guess that's good in itself, because if you're able to create an electric car but no one actually thinks it's an electric car, I guess you job well done then in terms of design department. And the final thing from Mazda is that Mazda is still about your blossoming. You've decided that, breaking all ties with Ford would be the right thing to do to completely, to re-establish yourself in the bakkie department. And thank goodness you have, because look at this machine, guys, the new PT50. Once again, it's a Mazda, but more importantly, that it's going to be built off a platform that is trusted, proven, tough, and rugged. Let's be honest, guys, if you are a boot, this is one, like the Isuzu bakkies are one of the ones that you look for first. So the fact that the Mazda is sharing a platform with Isuzu, this is going to be amazing for Mazda. In my opinion, it's more sleeker looking bakkie, so it's obviously not the boot bakkie that boots might want, but it might be a different take on it, because it's built off a reliable platform, and that will probably get it selling better than the previous iteration of the PT50. It's going to be strong, it's going to be capable, just like the old PT50, but that one was based off a Ford. And this one, you can see they just had a bit more design room and play area to play with, which is fantastic. And guys, we're going to end off this episode of SACarNews with one last discussion. So here's what happened. Last year, around about March time, 2019, Volvo announced that the entire lineup from 2021 will have a speed limit of 180 kilometers an hour. And what do you think on this? Because Volvo has always been the kind of company that does things a bit differently to everyone else. I mean, when they created their whole sports car division, they immediately decided, nope, we're not going to just have normal sports cars. We're going to shove a 4-cylinder engine in there and a crap ton of batteries and call it a day. So Volvo has always been doing something different. So do you think that this is a bad move on Volvo? Will this deter you from buying a Volvo if you were considering one already? Not that I think too many of the viewers of this channel will be buying Volvos, but that's besides the point. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a lengthier one. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all the YouTubey stuff. Comment about this Volvo situation and tell me what would have been the best practice if you don't agree with it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.